Hello, girls, gays, and Coleman, to my first video on YouTube where I will be talking about Creeped Out Season 1, Episode 10, Shed No Fear, my favorite episode of Creeped Out. This episode centers around two teenage boys, Greg and Dave. They seem to have been friends in the past but drifted apart, and all of that is completely forgotten and tossed aside when Greg suspects something is going on with Dave in his personal life due to a couple of odd things Dave is doing around school time. After a failed attempt by Dave to sneak into class, in which he blames Greg despite him being the one who walked into the classroom.
Stevens? Has anyone seen David Stevens?
Sir?
Everyone, sit down, please. Stevens!
Because Greg decided to say, hey, Dave's right there. The teacher called attendance, and he was outside the window. Anyways, Greg is blamed by Dave for being in trouble and decides the next time he's going to just follow Greg and see what's going on, see what he's doing, instead of getting him in trouble with the teacher. He follows him to a random shed where Dave seems to be gearing up to run into. He grabs a trash can lid as a shield, runs in kinda yelling. Not Dave, Greg follows him. That's not a good idea. Kids, don't do that. But he's being a good friend by going in. He walks around, sees something scary, doesn't know what to do, and eventually gets teleported out into a pool in the middle of town. He finds Dave's hat, brings it back to the shed, goes in and calls Dave's name again. Once again, don't do that. But Greg's being a good friend. Dave says, okay, you gotta get out of here. It's dangerous. Greg says no, and then Dave drags him out to explain what's going on and why he keeps going into this random shed that seems to have some creature in it.
Just, okay, what was that?
I don't know. Just know I gotta get rid of it.
Why?
Who wants lemonade and cookies?
My Aunt Abigail, do not speak a word of this to her.
Okay. Lovely lady.
That's why I can't have her go in that shed until I've gotten rid of whatever's in there.
I'm just guessing. She doesn't know anything about it, does she?
Dave explains that his aunt has no idea what's happening in the shed and that she inherited this place from his quote, mean old grandpa, and he wants to protect her from whatever's going on in the shed because she doesn't deserve that.
What?
It's just kind of refreshing hearing you sound like you actually care about someone else.
What kind of person just abandons someone?
This goes into my favorite part, which is Greg throwing Dave's words back in his face.
All right. We need to get a better look at it. Figure out what we're dealing with. Then we can make a plan.
We?
I don't abandon people either.
Love that Greg kind of threw Dave's words back in his face, seeing as he did abandon him and Greg's friendship. So yeah, there's that. And then after this, they start doing research at school. In doing the research, Dave quits football. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me, at least. Whatever. He quits the football team. But whatever. They figure out that this creature that's in the shed is a shade, and that it is allergic to light and it hates light. Light hurts it. All of that stuff. And they make a plan on how to get rid of it. They get rid of it. That's the end of the episode. Nothing else really important happens besides the quitting of the football team and the aunt saying, okay, well, now that you guys have finished that, maybe you guys can clean out the basement for me. It's real nasty down there, and there's a creature in the basement as well. And that leads to like my favorite part of this episode, even though the episode's over, is that I feel like this episode could be its own like show or storyline on its own. There's no like in the end someone gets punished for something they did. There's no like part of it where it's like, all right, and now you guys can never see each other again, or and now because of what you've done, things are no longer the same. It's a, okay, well, they did that, they're friends again, and now life goes on and they can keep doing things as friends together. And I feel like this episode on its own could turn into its own show. It's set in the 70s based off of the attire that they're wearing, I think. I just feel like this could be a great show for teaching young kids, especially boys, because boys don't really have a lot of shows showing this, but that friendship is good to have around. Your friends can mean a lot to you. This could explore, like, it could be like a monster of the week type of thing where they're cleaning out the hotel that the pool is in because it's decrepit and nasty, just like the pool, and they each of the rooms in the hotel has a different monster, and so when they're helping people in the town clean out places, whatever's in the town correlates to a room in the hotel. They clean it all up, and at the end of the show everything is nice and clean and wonderful, and there is no like problems, and then they like move on to doing something else with life, or by the time that they're done cleaning all the everything out and they've got everything, they're in college now, or like they're starting college, and it's another, like, the last episode could be a lesson in like drifting apart from your friends in a very more natural way. And I also feel like the show could explore, like, did Dave ever actually want to be on the basketball team or football team? Geez, sports are not my forte. Or did he just do it for someone else? Is he living with his aunt, or is he just helping her out because he really loves her? Like, what are their home lives like? Like, I feel like it could be its own show, its own series that could be really cool. And while I could absolutely like draw comics about it or something, I would rather whoever wrote the episode to do that because I feel like they have a good handle on the characters. Now, I've seen the episode like 3, 4 times now, so absolutely I could do it on my own. I think I know the characters semi well. I would rather the person who worked on it do that because it is their creation. These are their characters. Or at least, like, if I do that, I would want more of a like it would be very sci-fi type, not sci-fi. Geez, I don't know my genres either, apparently. Um, I just feel like it could be very cool on its own, and that would be an interesting show to have. And it could be very intriguing for younger kids. And like I said, boys don't really have shows like that. Most of their shows about friendship and stuff isn't like friendship is magic and like treat your friends nicely. Like they have those themes, but it's more about like fighting and stuff. I don't know. I don't watch boy shows to be honest. I barely watch TV. I spend all my time on YouTube and TikTok. So there's that. I could be completely out of my depth here. But I do think that this as a show would be great on its own, and I would really enjoy seeing it turn into something else. I might have to do that myself though, because Creeped Out didn't want to. But yeah, it's my favorite episode of the entire show because it could be its own show, and there's just so many things to explore with it. Um, but that's all from me. Bye bye.